Well, hello there my dear friends. Welcome back to the Scott Reed Project. Now today we are going to do a recipe from my new book, The Merchant of Venison. We are going to be making absolutely fantastic venison samosas. Now I know these work because I make them a lot. They are just absolutely brilliant. And the beauty is, a little goes a long way. You'll be surprised. I'm using just 125 grams of beautiful ground minced venison. For the rest of the ingredients, I've got a tablespoon of garlic and a tablespoon of ginger, which I've ground up in the pestle and mortar. I'm going to use a handful of frozen peas. There's about 2 tablespoons of lovely chopped fresh coriander. 1 medium onion sliced, and if you can have a look in this pan over here, we've got 1 decent sized potato, and that's all you need. We've got a pack of phyllo pastry, we're going to put them all in, but it's all about the spice blend. As you can see here, a lovely selection of spices. Now I will put the measurements in the description, but going round for you, a teaspoon of ground cumin, a teaspoon of ground coriander, a teaspoon of ground turmeric, a teaspoon of hot chili powder. I've got half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. I've got a small, I suppose a quarter of a teaspoon of chili flakes. Now, when we make this up, we're going to cook it and we're going to cool it so we can just test how hot you want it. But at the end of the day, it's not about blowing your brains out. It's about a nice little bit of heat and flavour. And I've got a good twist of black pepper and a teaspoon of salt. So what we need to do then is mix our spice blend all together. Now if you do it in a bowl like this, you can see that you have got a decent mix because it will all turn one colour. Now we're going to be using about half of this. To be honest with you, you can make up quite a decent batch of this, maybe times that spice mix by 4 and then keep it in a sealed container, because believe me, you make these once, you will be making them again. Now people that don't eat venison or have never tried it, give them one of these and they will be blown away. And when they say what is it, you say it's venison, I imagine they will say that's the best thing they have eaten. I mean, who doesn't love Indian food? Who doesn't love a samosa, eh? Meat wrapped in pastry and fried. It's the future, baby. So there's our spice blend all mixed up. What we need to do then is move this out the way. Oh, very nice. And then get a saucepan on there of our potatoes, and we'll get a frying pan and get sweating down these onions. Okay then, we just want to cook those potatoes until they are soft. We don't want them falling apart. We don't want to cook them too much that they become watery. We want this mix to stay nice and dry. In the frying pan, some beautiful cold pressed English rapeseed oil, which I absolutely adore. We'll bring that up to temperature and we will get our onion in. Now we just want to soften these and get a slight colour on these. We don't want to burn these. We don't want to make them bitter. Put the rest in, because as we all know, these go to nothing. So when I say this is a cracking dish, it really is. I've cooked it for a few people now, and even kids, and they absolutely love them. You know, we add them with a lovely cooling mint writer. It's just superb. Right, let them do their thing. So we just keep those onions moving. Softening up nicely, slice them nice and thin. It really cuts the cooking time. Beautiful. So this wonderful venison, have a look at it. Like I said, only 125 grams, and I know you're there going, there's no way you're going to get a lot out of this. You'll be so surprised, because in these samosas you use about a teaspoon maybe, so you're talking maybe 10, 12 out of this. It's just a great way, especially if you've got lots of venison trim when you do your own butchery and you wonder what to do with the mince. instead of like the spaghetti bolognese, the ragus, the pies, give this a go. It's amazing. Amazing. In with the venison. Now we want to get this a nice colour. So just on a higher sheet, again, keep it moving until it's nicely browned off. In with our garlic and our chilli, and we'll cook that off for a minute or so, keeping it moving. Now the kitchen is filling with wonderful smells. Potatoes are going good guns, so I want about a handful of peas in there. I think that'll do it, just to cook them off. Frozen peas, absolutely ideal. Oh, it smells good. Now we are going to add some of this spice blend. I'm going to add half of it to start with. Like I said, make up a big batch, put it in an airtight container and keep it. You will use it again and again. Now the kitchen has really filled with wonderful smells. Oh, it's beautiful. Listen, come here. Come on. Smell that. Oh, can you smell it? Do you want it? Okay, as you can see in there then, that mix is lovely, nice and dry. We will take it off the heat, put it into our bowl, and then when the potato and the peas are ready, we'll mash those, get those in, and let it cool. It's that easy. They are perfect, it tells you. So into our meat mix, put our potato and our peas. Now I have just tried the venison mix. It's absolutely perfect. In fact, it's dreamlike. It's absolutely gorgeous. So just do that. Test it. If you want a bit more spice, whatever, just add a little bit more at a time. You can always add more. You can always take away. And there, as you can see, is our wonderful. If I hit that oil one more time, I'm launching it. Our wonderful samosa mix. So I'm just going to get in the fresh coriander. It's all about the coriander hit for me. In fact, it's all going in. And try and get a few bits on your cooker. It's always cool. And then what I need to do then is just chill this until cold, and I will show you the witchcraft that is folding a samosa. Look at that. Could you? Would you? You better believe it, baby. Okay then, time to build these samosas. They're really, really cool. Just a quick note on the pastry. This is phyllo pastry. It doesn't like to dry out. As you can see, I've got it on a board. I got flour underneath and just a damp tea towel to keep it nice and moist. So, we have made some samosa glue. Just a tablespoon of flour and some water. You want that consistency. Do you remember when you used to make paper mache? That's pretty much what it is. Then of course our wonderful samosa mix. So a little bit of flour down on your work surface, Now this is a little bit fiddly, don't get me wrong, but it is well worth it. So we just gently get a sheet of our pastry, as you can see there. Now you want these long and thin. You want them roughly 5 to 6 times as long as they are wide. Don't get me wrong, you're not going to get it spot on. So just eyeball it, just like that. And get some of our samosa glue. And we want to put a bit on the end where we're going to seal it. Next, a little bit of our mix. Try and form it into a little sausage shape. We're going to place it on an angle because our first fold is going to be there. This is just a preliminary fold just to get the shape, and then with our glue down each side, just with your finger there, we begin the fold. So just 1 and then 2 and then 3, try and keep it in line, 4, just giving it final fettle till we get our end samosa. Pat it down, and there you have one samosa ready to fry off. You can just fettle it, but they will dry nicely. Beautiful. So a sausage of meat, that first initial fold, try and get it into the corners like I said. Then just a little of our mix each side. The last thing we want is for these to burst open in the fryer, and then gently pick it up. This is going to be a beauty, look at it. And just corner to corner. Pick it up, give it a fettle. Samosa number 2. Six samosas in a row. When I say a little goes a long way, I've made 6 there. Look how much I got left. You're looking at about, I'd say, 15, maybe 18 at a push. They are looking lovely. Now it is quite tricky to work with phyllo, but stick to it. If you want to use 2 sheets, it'll be thicker, be a bit more forgiving. But the beauty of phyllo is once you get it in the fryer, it all comes right. So, on that note, let's cook some. Okay, so now the good bit. I am using a mini deep fat fryer. It's up to 180 degrees C. By all means, do them on the hob in a pan of oil. I don't want to teach my granny to suck eggs, but you know, only only fill your saucepan up half with oil. Put my teeth back in. So, placing my beautiful samosas in. Just going to drop them in. They take about 3 minutes. Now, I've got my oven preheated to 80 degrees C because I like to put these in the oven after. It does something magical to them, keeps them warm, and it takes out all that excess fat, but it just makes them super, super unctuous for some reason. Don't ask me why, but it does. Look at those. Meat wrapped in pastry, fried. It'll never take off. Look at these. Okay, so these beauties are done. Have a look at them. Oh. Do not attempt to pick them up with your hands, like I did earlier. It hurts. Into the oven. So, putting them in the oven just sends them over the edge. They go super, super crispy. They're nice and dry. Just have a look at them. Just have a look at these beauties. Put that one there. Got a little bit of mint writer. You know the drill. Let's do it. Oh, look at them. Have a bit in there. So good. They are so like the real thing, whatever that means. They are the real thing. But you know what I mean when you go to an Indian restaurant? They're just like they are, but obviously made with wonderful venison. They're just astounding. And if you can't get a mint writer, just use a tablespoon of mayo, about a teaspoon of mint sauce, dash of lemon juice, some pepper, mix it up to emulsify, and I tell you what, it's absolutely blinding. Listen, my friends, I love you, but I've got to end this video because I need to sit down and eat these. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen here today on the SRP, please click subscribe when my face comes up down here. Find me on my social media on Facebook, 2 pages, Scott Rea, The Scott Rea Project. On my Twitter at The Scott Rea Project. On my Instagram at The Scott Rea Project. And if you feel like sharing the love, please do check out my Patreon page. Remember, this is a recipe from my forthcoming book, ready for pre-order. Order your copy. The link will be in the description. Believe me, it's selling super fast on pre-orders, so don't miss out. There's loads of great recipes like this. And until next time, I'm going to have one more. I mean, I'm filming this at 10:30 in the morning. It's the Breakfast of Champions. Oh, look at it though. Take care, my friends. All the best.